Pranam and welcome back. It makes us very happy when we get any opportunity to talk about Shiva, Shakti on their aspects. And today we are super excited to be talking about Shivji because his special day is coming very soon on the 14th day of the lunar month of Falguna, which is MahaShivaratri on the 26th of February. Now the 14th day of every lunar month is a Shivaratri. Lunar month, which is the time taken by the moon to complete one revolution around the earth, which is of 29.5 days. 29.5 to 30 days depending on the eclipse of the earth or the position of the eclipse of the earth. And every Shivaratri is special. It is the time when our body naturally suppresses melatonin that makes staying awake and staying alert easier. The gravitational forces subtly influence our bodily fluids in such a manner during this time as to flush out toxins from our system, help in spiritual alignment, help in focusing, keep us awake. And fasting, meditation, worshipping Shiva during this time helps us form a connection with Him or a strong connection with Him. What makes Mahashivaratri super special is that the punyas earned by the sadhak by worshipping Shiva on Mahashivaratri are equivalent to or even more than the punyas earned by worshipping Shiva on the 11 other Shivaratris. During this time, the northern hemisphere is positioned in such a manner that there is a natural upsurge of energy in the human body, because of which meditation, japa, tapa helps us feel the essence of Shiva in a much more intensified manner. In today's video, we will be discussing some very simple yet important aspects of Shivaratri, the importance of fasting and how to fast properly on the Shivaratri. We will also be discussing about the proper or the easy and the simple way of staying awake and chanting the proper mantras during the 4 praharas of Mahashivaratri. But before we proceed further, it is first important to understand why exactly is Mahashivaratri celebrated. According to the majority of the texts, Mahashivaratri is the day when Shivji and Mata Parvati got married. The Shiva Purana and the Linga Purana disagree. According to them, today is the day when there was the Abhirbhava of the Shiva Linga. On this day, the Shiva Linga was worshipped by the Devatas, Brahmaji, Hari, and other Devatas that made Shivji super happy. And he declared that this day henceforth would be celebrated as the Mahashivaratri and it would be super auspicious for the sadhak. It all started with a quarrel between Brahmaji and Hari regarding who was better and who was more powerful. And it escalated to such an extent that Shivji created a fiery lingam and asked them to measure it. The story is very interesting. Yet, it is so convoluted that it will take me 45 minutes to talk about the story alone, because of which I have attached the PDF below. Please take a look. What we do know is Mahashivaratri is the day when we get the chance to intensify our worship and doing the japa, the tapa and the sadhana of Shiva on this day helps you get rid of your karmic debts. It helps you cleanse your system, cleanse your surroundings and intensify your connection with Omkara. Now, before understanding about the important vidhis that we should observe in the 4 praharas of Mahashivratri, it is first equally important to understand what exactly are the praharas. According to the Hindu calendar, the time between one sunrise to the other is called a tithi. Each tithi is divided into 8 praharas, 4 in the morning, 4 in the evening. Mahashivratri is all about the 4 praharas in the evening that last from 6:30 in the evening to 6:30 the next morning. Usually one prahara is of 3 hours. So the first prahara is from 6:30 to 9:30, the next from 9:30 to 12:30, the next from 12:30 to 3:30, and the next from 3:30 to 6:30, which is also called the Brahma Muhurta. Now, in the morning of the Shivaratri, you can definitely do the Rudra Abhisheka of the Shivalingam. You can chant hymns and you can do the pujas, but it is important to conserve your energy for the evening 4 praharas, because this is when the energy is at its peak and this is when the magic begins. In this year, the first prahara timings are as follows. The first prahara lasts from 6:39 p.m. to 9:34 p.m. That is the first prahara. In this prahara, you must offer water and milk to the Shivalinga while chanting Om Ishanaya Namaha at least 108 times. Even better if you can do it 1008 times. As many malas as you can. The second prahara lasts from 9:34 p.m. to 12:39 a.m. That is the second prahara. And in this prahara, you must offer water and curd to the Shivalinga while chanting Om Aghoraya at least 108 times or as many malas as you can. The third prahara lasts from 12:39 a.m. to 3:45 a.m. During the third prahara, make sure to offer water and ghee to the Shivalinga while chanting Om Vamadevaya Namaha at least 108 times or as many malas as you can. The fourth prahara or the Brahma Muhurta, it comes during the Brahma Muhurta from 3:45 am to 6:15 am, in which we chant Om Satyotaya Namaha at least 108 times or as many malas as we can. And yes, during this time we offer water and honey to the Shivalinga. Bel patras must be offered during all 4 praharas. And yes, the Nishidkala, a very important time. It comes during the second prahara for 49 minutes from 12:15 am to 1:04 am. This is the most important time. Make sure you stay awake during this time. You offer Panchamrita, you do the Rudra Abhisheka, and you chant the mantras definitely during the Nishidkala period. Now, there are several things that can be done on the 4 praharas of Mahashivaratri. What if I tell you chanting the Moola mantra, that is the Panchakshari mantra? That is the simplest way to get the essence of Shiva in our souls. Panchakshari mantra is said to contain the essence of Shiva. It is Shiva himself. Chanting the Om Namah Shivaya mantra every day, especially on the day of Mahashivaratri, gives you a lot of benefits. It gives you success and prosperity. It cleanses the negative energy surround. It helps you overcome or it removes obstacles from your path. It gives you peace of mind. The Puranas state that Narad Muni had given this Panchakshara mantra to Mata Parvati when she was doing her tapa for Lord Shiva. The Puranas further state that chanting the Moola mantra of Shivji for 9 crore times purifies you of all your karmic debts and any sins that you may have committed. Chanting it another 9 crore times gives you mastery over the elements of nature. If an individual chants Om Namah Shivaya 108 crore times, then his understanding is stimulated and he obtains pure yoga. We can simply say that it is a form of Shiva. The more you chant the Moola mantra, the more you feel Shiva's presence or Shiva's essence in your souls. During a conversation of Mata Parvati with Lord Shiva, when she wanted to understand the disciplines to be observed on the day of Mahashivaratri, Shivji very clearly instructed to chant the Moola mantra or the Panchakshari mantra at least 108 times before doing the Rudra Abhisheka. Pradakshina and the Moola mantra are 2 things that are extremely dear to Lord Shiva. So during this Mahashivaratri, doing a Pradakshina of the Shiva Linga followed by chanting of this Moola mantra can cleanse you of any sins that you may have committed in this birth and in your previous births. Other than the Mula mantras, there is a very beautiful Shiva Stotam about the 12 Jyotirlingas that is or that can give you immense benefits on when chanted during the night of Mahashivaratri. Other than the Mula mantras and other mantras that you can chant during the four praharas of Mahashivratri, make sure to chant at least one mala of the Dwadasha Jyotirlingam Stotam, a beautiful stota that is dedicated to the glory of the 12 main Jyotirlingas of Shivji. Let me explain the stota to you in simple words. The first verse of the stota states, Saurashtre Somanatham Chashri Stare Malikarjunam Ujjainiyam Mahakalam Omkaram Mamaleshwaram, meaning Somnath in Saurashtra, Mallikarjuna in Srishailam, Mahakal in Ujjain, and Omkareshwar in Amaleshwar. The second verse of the Stotam states another four Jyotirlingas. The second verse is like this. Paralyam Vaidyanatham che Dakinyam Bhima Shankaram Setubandhetu Ramesham Nagesham Darukavam, meaning Vaidyanath in Paralya and Bhima Shakaram in Dakinya. Ramesham or Rameshwaram in Setubandha. Nagesham or Nageshwara in Darukavan. The third verse of the Strota states, Varanyasyam tu Vishesham, Trayambakam Gotamitake, Himalayam tu Kedaram, Gushmesham Chashaivalle. Vishwanath at Varanasi. Trayambakam at the banks of river Gautami. Kedarnath in the Himalayas. And Gushmeshwara in Shivalaya. Last verse of the Strotam states, Atani Jyotirlingam Sayam Prataha Pathenaraha Sapta Janma Kritam Papam Smaranena Vinayasan, meaning one who recites these or one who recites the Dwadasha Jyotirlingam Strotam every morning and evening gets relieved of the sins of previous 7 births. If you chanted on the night of Mahashivaratri, you experience the essence of the 12 special Jyotirlingas without having to physically visit them. And yes, you are also freed of the sins of 7 births. So make sure to chant the Dwadasha Jyotirlingam Stotam this Mahashivaratri to understand the glories of the 12 Shivalinga and to be relieved of your previous karmic debts. So Mahashivaratri falls on the Chaturdashi Tithi, that is on the 26th of February on a Wednesday. On the Trayodashi Tithi, on the night of Trayodashi Tithi, that is from 25th February onwards, you will stop having solid foods. After 7 p.m. or at the most after 9 p.m., stop having solid foods. And I'm talking about the night of 25th February. That is the day before Mahashivaratri. On the day of Mahashivaratri, get up on the Brahma Muhurta and take a bath. After taking the bath, go to the nearby Shiva temple, offer the Rudra Abhishekam, and then do a sankalpa in front of Shivji that you will be keeping the fast. Ask him for forgiveness regarding any mistakes that you might commit while keeping your vrata. Usually, vrata is kept on a nirjal mat. That is, you do not have any solids, you do not have any water as well. But if you are on medications and you have to have the food, then do not take salt with your food on that day. Partake of sweet foods, or if you can, partake of fruits. That is falahara. Avoid grains. If even falahara is not an option, then partake of a sattvic bhojan. Sattvic bhojan with sendha namak, not the white salt, and ensure that there are any tamasic components in your food. Tamasic components in the form of onion, garlic, mustard oil, or tamasic vegetables like aubergines or others. So these are the vrat criteria. And yes, on the day of Mahashivaratri, if it is very important that you have something because of health considerations, then have the solids or have the liquids in the morning time. In the evening, ensure that you are awake throughout the night. Ensure that you do not have any food in the 4 praharas of night when the energy is at its maximum. And yes, the very next day, like the after the Brahma Muhurta or after the completion of the 4th prahara, after the arati has been over, feed a needy person or feed an animal, preferably a dog or a cow or any animal that is close to Lord Shiva. He is called Pashupatinath for a reason. He loves all animals. After that, you can break your fast. When we are talking about the MahaShivaratri Vidhis, then establishing the Shiva Linga at your place during MahaShivaratri or on the day of Shivaratri and worshipping the Shiva Linga at home ushers in positive vibes. It cleanses out the negative energy of the place. It brings in good vibes. It brings in positivity that attracts health, wealth, and success. Simple vidhis to be followed, and I'm explaining it in as simple manner as possible. For doing a linga puja at home or for doing the shivalinga puja at home, you need to keep ready these following items. You will need rudraksha beads. You will need water. If you have ganga jal, then even better. Milk, honey, ghee, curd, the dhatura fruits and flowers. Shivji is extremely fond of dhatura fruits and flowers. The bel patra, the bel flowers, the bel flowers, any fruits or flowers, any fruits that are not sour. For flowers, you can offer the arka flower or the crown flowers, the white arka flowers. Arka flowers are either white or red in color. For Mahashivaratri Puja, we need to choose white flowers. So we will take the white arka flowers. Or you can take any flower that is white in color. You also need to keep ready camphor for dhupam, for deepam, other ingredients, brass lamps, cotton wig, and other things as well. These are the basic things. Yes. Before starting the puja, first of all, you need to take a bath. You need to purify yourself before starting the puja. After you have taken bath, first keep the altar ready. The altar where you will install the Shivalinga. First of all, do the achamana. Purify your hands, legs, and face and take few sips of water or sip a few drops of water while chanting Om Kesavaya Namaha. So the Shivalinga in the altar that you have prepared while chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Now there are some basic rules while installing the Shivalinga at your place. First rule is it should not be greater in size than the size of your thumb. Second rule is if you are installing the Shivalinga at home, then make sure it is a stone linga made from stones of the Narmada river. If you are installing a metallic Shivalinga, then make sure that it is of gold, silver, or copper and has snakes around it. And yes, do not separate Shivji and Nandiji from each other. They are inseparable. If you are installing a Shivalinga, then also install Nandiji in such a way that both of them are facing each other. You can place the Shivalinga facing the west direction and you need to worship Shivji or the Shivling facing the east direction. After the Achamana has been completed, offer the asana to Shivling or offer the asana to Shivji while chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Follow this with lighting the Karpura and wave it in front of the Shivalinga along with the brass lamps. After this, now by this time we know that before establishing you must have established the kalasha and you must have lighted the lamp, the brass lamp or the lamp that you light with cow ghee using cotton mix. After this, you need to do the Abhishekam. And how will you do the Abhishekam? First of all, offer jal to the Shivalinga. Then, in sequence, first offer milk, then offer curds, then offer ghee, and then offer honey, followed by again offering jal to the Shivalinga. After this, rinse it thoroughly and dry it with a very clean cloth. After this, you need to offer the bilva leaves, the bel patra. You need to offer the dhatura fruits and flowers and other naivedya. During this time, you can also offer kumkum and sandalwood to the Shivalinga. Chanting mantras are mandatory at this point. While you can chant the Mula mantra Om Namah Shivaya, you can also chant the Gayatri mantra. And one more very important rule. If you are conducting the Shivling Puja at home, make sure that the lamp that you light needs to stay lighted throughout the day. That is a very important rule. And yes, you have to do the fasting, whether you do a nirjala or you do a falahara or you partake of sattvic foods. You need to do the sankalpa when you are worshipping the Shivalinga, the sankalpa for your vrata. After you have offered the dhupa and deepa, do the arati of Shivji and follow it by distribution of prasad. Now, these are the basic steps for doing the MahaShivaratri Puja at home. Or these are the basic steps for worshipping the Shivalinga during Mahashivaratri at your home. What if I tell you there is another way where you do not need any ingredients or you do not need even a Shivalinga? Now the Shiva Manasa Puja is a strotam composed by Adi Shankaracharya in the 8th century. It is one of the easiest and most beautiful ways of worshipping Shiva without requiring any samagris or without any puja vidhis or without even the availability of an image. Now, not all of us have the luxury of visiting a Shiva temple or even conducting the worship at home. Sometimes we are in a foreign place where we do not have access to the puja vidhis, the samagris for worshipping, or even a temple. Sometimes we are traveling, sometimes we are in places where worshipping Shiva on the day of Mahashivaratri becomes very difficult. During this time, the Shiva Manasa Puja helps us connect to Shiva in the best possible manner. In the 5 verses, each verse is a descriptive theme. In the first verse, you imagine the beautiful image of Shiva. In the second verse, you imagine his iconography. In the third verse, we imagine offering him bhogas, dhupas, deepas. And in the other verses, we imagine offering him pan, bel patras, and fanning him, making a canopy for him. And in the last verse, we ask forgiveness for any of our sins. And we imagine Shiva from our hearts. We visualize him. It is an internal worship that has as much intensity and that gives you as much punya as external worship. Now, Shiva Manasa Puja has, or that the Strotam has 5 verses. And it is very difficult to explain all of these in one video, because of which I have composed a PDF. A PDF describing each verse in the best possible manner, in a simple and easy manner, so you can understand what to do or how to do a Shiva Manasa Puja. Please see the PDF that I have attached below. Let me know if you want me to do a video on Shiva Manasa Puja. I will dedicate an entire video only on this puja alone. And yes, please remember and understand that Shiva Manasa Puja is an important aspect of worship during Mahashivaratri that is as much important as Bahya Puja or external worship. Mahashivaratri is all about getting close to Shiva, feeling the essence of Shiva. And I hope through this video, I could make it easier for you in understanding the concepts of the whole release. Please let me know if you have any questions below and I'll try my best to answer them. Please watch the PDFs as well that I have provided that will give you a better idea about the stories of Shivaratri along with the Strotam or the Strotam of Shiva Manasa Puja. I pray that all of you have a very fruitful Shivaratri and get whatever fruits that you have been wishing for. Om Namah Shivaya.